Harold.
Right, are you a smoker? How long will you smoke today? Do you start the day with a fag, or do you wait until the evening? Would you describe yourself as a social smoker? Are you addicted to that? This week, MPs voted in favour of introducing standardised packaging in the UK.
But there are leading medical experts in The Lancet today saying that the only solution to save 1 billion lives is to make the entire planet tobacco-free. That's quite a statement. Here to discuss that is Hazel Cheesman. She's from ASH, the charity that works to eliminate the harm caused by tobacco, and she thinks, obviously, it's a good idea. Mel Fallowfield, on the other hand, thinks adults should be able to make their own choices. So first, let's hear whether you think smoking should be banned.
On a personal level, I think would be fantastic, but I think there's a lot to gain from taxes on tobacco.
It wouldn't affect me too much. I'm not a smoker, so I'd be non-fussed either way if it was banned or if it was kept. It wouldn't really affect me at all.
It would mean obviously saving a lot of money. My health would improve.
Although I don't agree with tobacco and, you know, people smoking it, taking it, I do think, you know, there's that element of freedom, and if people want to do it, it's their choice.
If the temptation's not there, people aren't going to smoke.
If people can smoke in their own homes, that should be fine. To ban it altogether, I think that would be quite tough.
OK, views from the street there. If you want to get involved in all of this, if you think tobacco should be banned, tweet TM yes. And if you think no, tweet TM no. And we'll count those up.
We will indeed. So, Hazel from anti-smoking group ASH, obviously you're going to think this is a good idea, but is it a practical idea? Could you ever see a world where tobacco doesn't exist, it's not even grown?
Well, I think there's a distinction between banning and then moving towards a world where actually people just don't smoke anymore. And I think that proposition of, you know, people young people not taking up smoking anymore, people quitting, that seems a very realistic prospect in the UK. If you think about where we were...
What, by 2040?
But, well, why not? Well, you know, in the 60s, over half of people smoked.
That's just ridiculous. It's never going to happen.
Well, we look at the improvements that have happened in smoking rates in the last 30 years. You know, less than 1 in 5 people smoke now. Fewer teenagers are taking it up than ever before. You know, it's all moving in the right direction.
And do you believe any of that is to do with the fact that smoking was banned in public places, in restaurants and bars, that people, there was almost no point then, or kids didn't see it so much?
I think it's about all of the things that we've been doing in the last sort of 15, 20 years. You know, banning smoking in public places is one of those things, but, you know, giving more support to people to help them quit, getting rid of billboards and advertising,
but then you'd have
putting
to
the
do
taxation
the same,
up.
wouldn't you? Would you not have to do the same for alcohol then?
Sugar.
So, sugar, junk food, you know, you start banning everything that's bad for people.
OK, well, that's OK. Well, OK, we get the picture there. Mel, are you a smoker?
I am indeed, yes.
Yes, and what do you think?
It's sort of exactly what you were moving in saying, is this whole nanny state thing feels very dangerous to me, and it does feel like that, you know, thou shalt not smoke, and then what next? Is it alcohol? Is it junk food? Is it you have to go and exercise for X amount of time a day?
But Hazel's right. I mean, you shouldn't smoke. You know it's killing you, you know, so what's wrong with what she's saying and what she's aspiring to?
Well, because cigarettes exist, we've been told they're legal, we smoke, and why shouldn't we carry on doing that? I mean, just sort of taking it away. And
why shouldn't she carry on doing that? Tell her.
Well, it's up to individuals to make their decisions about what they're going to do. But the thing you've got to remember...
But they wouldn't be able to make that individual decision if it was banned, would
Well,
they?
I don't think we're calling for a ban. What we're saying is we can envisage a future where fewer people smoke. Because most people start smoking before they're 18, so they're making that choice to smoke when they're, you know, when they're a child, and, you know, choice is difficult, and then they become addicted. And when you talk to most smokers will say, actually, I wish I'd never started, and I really want to quit.
Do you wish you'd never started?
Funnily enough, I probably do wish I'd never started, but I do enjoy it enormously now. I don't see it as an addiction. Obviously, I am addicted, but I do enjoy it a lot, and I don't particularly want to give up, if I'm truthful. So,
did you see it as an erosion of your kind of civil liberties, your rights to say, I can do what I want? There would be people that say, but then you might end up with lung cancer and be treated on the NHS, for which we're all paying.
But my taxes is definitely paying for that treatment, the amount I spend on cigarettes and the tax on them. And also, do you know, very interestingly, a recent report, I think it was in an article a few years ago, said that it's actually the thin and healthy that costs the NHS more, because smokers and fat people die quicker. And, when you're thin and healthy with dementia, 24-hour care, incredibly expensive for the NHS, takes more of a toll on it.
What I'm interested, Hazel, is that why... I know it's dropped, I know the number has dropped, but there are an awful lot of teenagers still taking up smoking. With all the anti-smoking information for them out there, why are they doing it?
Well, there's much more that we still need to do to make sure that young people are not taking up smoking. And the introduction of standardised packaging, which hopefully will happen next year, is another step in the right direction. You know, if we remove the branding and some of those things which help to attract young people to smoking, then that's a great next step.
So do they still think it's cool to smoke then, or?
I think it's becoming less the case. If you talk to a 15-year-old now, I think it is
unless you're in maybe the third world, unless you're in places like Africa, India, even the Middle East. I notice when you go on holiday, even places like Spain, you just notice all around the airport people are smoking where you wouldn't see that obviously in the UK.
Yeah, I mean, what we've seen is as smoking rates go down in the developed world, tobacco industries are moving into countries where income's going up and they can sell their product there, and they don't have the same controls that we do in this country. They don't have the same support to help people to quit once they've started either. So I mean, if it's realistic to see a world where smoking doesn't happen by 2040, then there's much more that needs to happen globally as well as in the UK.
Nicola says there'll always be things in life which are bad for our health, but let people make their own decisions on how they live theirs. I'm an ex-smoker. Don't ban it because it'll probably become something illegal and people will still try to get it, so you'll have a new problem in your hands. Mark, as a non-smoker, he says let people do as they please. Emily, I'm a smoker and I think yes, it should be banned. The health benefits would be huge. It would save the NHS a fortune.
Well, you saw our poll there. It was actually no, it shouldn't be banned. Came out top there. 53% of you say no, it shouldn't be banned.
Okay.
We've still got a bit of work
Guys,
to do there.
appreciate that. We've got to say goodbye to you. We head to the news.